Well, obviously, tensions are really rising ahead of this GOP debate tonight. The Republican establishment growing more and more desperate to do anything to stop the Trump train/locomotive. Arizona Representative Trent Franks has asked his fellow Republicans to sign onto a letter urging either Ted Cruz or Marco Rubio to drop out so the GOP can consolidate behind one single anti-Trump opponent. The representative joins us now. Sir, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Charles.
You know, I find it, your letter says through rivalry, disunity, and hatred in our ranks, conservatives are now in danger of splintering their voice. And then you go on to talk about perhaps Donald Trump being the eventual general election nominee, and not too kind words. What is it about a Donald Trump nomination that really scares you guys so much?
Well, first of all, let me correct some things. You had mentioned that this was from the establishment. I'm pretty much considered one of the most conservative members of Congress and would never be considered establishment.
Secondly, I guess these days the narrative is that anyone who's not for Trump is establishment. But
yeah, I know, but this is not true. That's the problem. And secondarily, the letter has not been widely circulated. And third, the letter does not call for anybody to, quote, drop out. Those words are not used. What it calls for is for Mr. Rubio and Mr. Cruz to come together so that if either one of them just simply drops out, then whatever votes that might come from that are split in different ways. So they need to join forces. It's not a political problem here. It's a mathematics issue.
Right.
And we don't know what the future holds. No one does. But if the paradigm isn't changed, the mathematics, you can't repeal those laws of mathematics very easily. And if that paradigm is not changed, then I think the outcome is pretty specific. And you asked me what my problem is with Donald Trump. I'm hoping that his epiphany to become a Republican and conservative Republican is a good thing.
Well, you say that we don't know fundamentals. We don't know the fundamentals where Trump stands on the issues, right? So you're worried about that.
We don't know where he really is.
Let me ask you this: Who are your fellow Republicans who might have already signed on this or are considering it?
I'll let that manifest when it will. There's just I've only probably maybe talked to maybe a dozen people. Maybe we might get half that many sign on.
Has it been receptive though? Are people receptive to it?
Yeah, almost to a person, they understand the reality of the issue. They understand that unless the paradigm changes, unless maybe Mr. Trump's tax returns show something of significance, or unless the numbers change, unless the field changes.
I've got to just jump in 1 second because I'm getting. I only have a little bit of time, but I've got to ask. People will say, what about the pledge, the GOP pledge that Donald Trump was bludgeoned to force to sign publicly at the beginning of the process? Why doesn't it apply to the rest of the Republican Party?
Well, I think that they know that the rest of the traditional candidates in this party have no intention of running as a third-party person. We don't know that about Trump, and that's my whole point. This is an unpredictable individual. I've learned that arrogance is always a temporary and self-correcting condition. I just don't know if it will correct itself in time in this circumstance.
Representative Franks, thanks a lot for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.